All right. And it says we are live. What's going on, everyone? We are back, and we had to end that last stream with Jen because of audio technical difficulties on my part. Very unfortunate. I'm sorry about that. But if you guys are in the chat now, please give me a thumbs up and let me know how the audio is. I do not want to continue on the rest of the stuff that I had lined up if the audio is just trash. So please give me a thumbs up if the audio is good, if there's no echo, if it's loud enough, just please give me a little something. We got 7 watching now. Audio is good. Thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, so I think it's just when I have people on, I think the bandwidth or the Wi-Fi just gives out and it just gets me all splotchy. It's ridiculous. So and it just sucks because I got that show coming up next week or on Monday with Ark from Destiny's Lab, and I'm gonna have to figure something out. I'm gonna have to probably move the extender upstairs and plug the hardwire cables back in, which it's not gonna be fun, but we'll figure it out. It's for a good cause, I'll tell you that. So absolutely. And I got a bunch of thumbs up in the chat. So, all right, cool. So let me just get this in. We'll let the chat room fill up and we'll play a song from Destiny Lab. This is, I believe, The Hollow Earth. Absolutely. That's exactly what we're talking about. What we were talking about before. So let's get this shared and thumbed up. And I'm going to let this play and I'm going to try to give this a share on my end on a couple different outlets. So if another song does end up playing, do not worry. Or actually, there's not even another song lined up. It's some other BS. That's nice. That's what I like.
What are the Hopi Indians, Adolf Hitler, Tibetan monks, and Icelanders have in common? They believe that the earth is hollow. Join us as we begin our journey to discover the truth about the hollow.
Deep within the depths of the center of Earth, there lies a world that's unknown to the people on the surface. While we explore the nooks and crannies of the crust, there could be a whole civilization underneath us. A race indigenous to darkness. They make the homes inside of holes in the cracks and the crevices. We check the poles for an entrance. Ask Admiral Byrd and the Nazis. They're my witness. He's just a last tale of Shangri-La and Shabbat and Agartha, but they're not of God. These mythic cities are utopian dreams of secret, esoteric, occult-like societies. They study Crowley and Blavatsky. They speak possessed by these spirits from hell like Alice Bailey. They seek the fruit of the serpent, and they will reap what they sow. They satanic servants. They preach original delusion. It is the seed that has sprouted the lie of evolution. Social techniques that are pagan beliefs unleash like hungry wolves that are disguised as sheep. They masquerade as these angels of light and brainwash all the masses without even a fight. It's deeply creepy and incredible. Just take a trip to the center of Earth where it's unbearable.
The idea that this inner realm is the source of paradise.
Is this the paradise you dreamed about? Where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth with no way out? The holy scriptures are explicit and descriptive. The lake of fire is not a place you'd like to visit. The hollow earth will not offer you enlightenment. No other crystals or the spirit guides you're sided with. Their home's the core of the earth, their environment is one of torment and darkness and violence. The only fountains are the ones filled with flames. The only faces are the ones filled with pain. A population subterranean from every tribe, from every time, from every tongue, from every nation. Accumulation of the sins from every human. This land of lava is an everlasting prison. So tell me now, is this vision one of paradise or one of hell that's in line with the Antichrist?
There are those who firmly believe that the
All right, so welcome back, everyone. Good to see you, a couple of guys. You guys made it back, and let's just pick up where we left off. And Yeah, it's ridiculous that my audio just started splotching there right at the end. And we were going to go probably another 30, 40 minutes at least, but it just sucks that YouTube had to pretty much just turn this entire thing down. Absolutely ridiculous. But let's pick up right where we left off. Let me just do one of these bad boys real quick. Little screen share action. Where is it? Beautiful. And can we see this? Is that full screen? Yes, it is. Perfect. So this is a website, The Study of Buddhism, the Nazi connection with Shambhala and Tibet. And it goes on to say that many high-ranking Nazi regime members, Hitler, Himmler, Hess, held occultic beliefs, which we all know as fact nowadays, going back to the Vril Society and whatnot. The Germans had expeditions to Tibet between 38 and 39. And, excuse me, goes on to point out the myths of the Thule and the Vril. Sorry, just got a little heartburn right there. All right, the first element of Nazi occult beliefs was that the mythical land of Hyperborea Thule, just as Plato is cited in the Egyptian legends of the sunken island of Atlantis. Herodotus mentioned the Egyptian legend of the continent of Hyperborea in the far north. Very interesting, because there are alleged, entrances to this hollow earth realm in the north. And that's been broadcasted everywhere, all throughout ancient literatures, ancient legends, myths, and whatnot. And they've been doing it all throughout through the media, through movies, TV shows, and whatnot as of recent. We'll get into all that in just a little bit. It's all you get the Arctic Home. It's a novel, I believe. And and you got the Thule Society and the founding of the Nazi Party. They go hand in hand, people. And they made many trips to, like I said, to Shambhala and whatnot. And let's Nazi, Freemasonics, all the same thing. They are one in the same. They're in the same club, and sad to say, we are not invited. I don't want to be invited to that club, so it's all good. But let's just hear an excerpt from a show on the Fourth Watch Radio. This is Justin Fall and Jim Wilhelmsen. I think that's how you say that. And did I even share audio? I did. Perfect. So give this a listen real quick. Exactly what I was just talking about.
Booted out of the Garden of Eden. They were booted out of the inner realm to the outer realm. That's why we have a global, worldwide account of our origin being inside the earth. And I mean, and this is in every land, every place. The Germans have a let's see, what was theirs called? Of course, it was called Valhalla, but they had the idea of an underworld. Let's see, what was it? It was called, well, Valhalla, and there's some other word too that some of the other Nordic nations had, and I can't even begin to pronounce it properly, so I'm not even going to try. The Greeks had their idea of an afterlife and an origin where they originated from that was underneath the subterranean. The Tibetan monks in Buddhism, they believed the place that they originated from was Shambhala. They believe that there's still secret chiefs that rule the world. And of course, Maitreya, that is down there now, through the Himalayan mountains and some of the cavernous systems, they believe that they come in contact regularly with the ascended masters. This is why the Nazis had an expedition to Tibet in seeking hollow earth.
Now, this is actually where I want us to move next. Let's go ahead and get into how the Nazis got tied into Tibet, and because this is huge, because the Nazis, they conspired to create these relationships with the Tibetians, and they kind of went over there initially, if I'm not mistaken. They went over there and said, we want to kind of investigate the zoology and some of the geography, but in reality, they had a whole ulterior motive for what they were doing in Tibet. So break down that idea. Let's get into the Nazis' connections to Tibet and Shambhala.
Well, here's the interesting thing. They didn't really have to deceive the Tibetans. The Tibetans identified and recognized the Nazis for who they were. They believed that they were on the end of the fourth Dharma cycle, entering into the fifth. They knew that there was going to be a negative part of Shambhala, of people that would come to them, that they were prophetically going to help to bring about the beginning of the fifth cycle, the new cycle. So when they saw the Nazis, they recognized that here is the people we've been waiting for. So they opened up the doors. They let them go into the caves to do electromagnetic research, sizing, graphing. They even showed them what I believe were pre-flood texts that allowed them to understand further some of the technologies, and also finally finding the opening to a hollow earth. The Die Spiegel news, after the first expedition, claimed that they had finally found the opening to the hollow earth. Die Spiegel was like one of the main, like the Washington Post of Germany. And
so there you go. There's just another opinion on the whole hollow earth type deal and how it relates with the Nazi occultism leading all the way back down to Shambhala, and how they, made contact with the monks of Tibet and, had inner earth meetings with these beings. And it's no coincidence that when they have all these meetings with these beings, they're either A, like we were talking about before, these Nordic type looking beings, and B, the head one down there refers to himself as the master. So, there's no doubt of a connection between all those. And we all know who the master of the inner earth is, because the inner earth is just more shafts down to Hades and Tartarus, chaos. I think they're all very, very, very interrelated. So let me, you mother bastard. There we go. Get that out of here. Let me get a screen share going. Oh, we're getting tired. So we were just there. Yep. And these are the Nordic beings I was just, talking about. If you guys don't know about the ancient Nordics and whatnot, the long white hair. And you just go to Wiki real quick. The Nordic race. The Nordic race is one of the Polter sub-races. Come to the lid. Yep. Anthropologists divided the Caucasian race people in Nordic type Northern Europe. Yep. And where was the part of this I really wanted us to look into? Where is it? Maybe it wasn't even on this page. What the hell? Yeah, why the hell did I click that? There we go. Oh man, why is this taking 99 years to load? We still here? All right. Still saying that. And we got to this website again? Oh crap. All right, that was fun. I just had to deal with an ad. I didn't know where any of that sound was coming from. I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, but that was quite annoying. So what we got here is ancientorigins.com, and This is not really what I thought I was going to be looking at. Yeah, all right. Well, that kind of sucks. Well, either way, the ancient Nordics were, talked about, like I said, in the film I was referring to yesterday and the day before, the Hollow Earth Chronicles, and how the Nazis made trips up north to I believe Scotland and other areas up there, and they got interesting information, old tablets, old information, sort of like what the U.S. military was doing in 2003 when they, coincidentally found the tomb of Gilgamesh, the mythical creature or the mythical being, a myth. Well, uh they found his tomb in 2003. Like, yeah, when was this? Where's the date? There you go. Well, registered 2001 actually. So this is rather old. The Epic of Gilgamesh, and they found his tomb. Yep. 2,500 years before the birth of Christ. Makes a lot of sense if Gilgamesh is Nimrod. Absolutely crazy. It's just, I'm just putting 2 to 2 and get 2 and 2 together real quick. But the Nordics, they had very big influence on the Germans, because the Nordics look very, very similar to what we hear about the Vril Society. These girls who could talk to spiritual beings, have these seances, these occult rituals, have these what do you call it? Not spirit board sessions, but pretty much these channeling sessions, and they would get blueprints and they would get technologies from these, and it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So let's watch a little something right here. Let me get this out, and this might help everyone further understand what I'm talking about, because the Nordics have a big part in all this. And this is part of a video that I did, and it's a video that ODD did that I shared. ODD TV did a Hollow Earth North Pole relation type video, and I thought it was so good I threw it in the video I did a couple months ago, or actually it was about a year ago actually. And it's absolutely just crazy. And the ancient Nordics, Nazi occultism, the Nazis, then they take the trip to Shambhala, then they have their bases like base 211 down in Antarctica, New Schwabenland. And it leads me to believe that they definitely went all the way up to the North Pole and explored all the land that we can explore. And there's other places that they had bases, because they were down in Peru. They made their way down to Peru. They made their way down to Argentina, Egypt. Obviously, there's many pictures of the Germans in the Nazi occultism, or why do I keep saying the Nazis? At the pyramids, and there's mad similar symbols that's going on between what's on the SS uniforms, what's on all the other guys' uniforms, the swastika. It's all found everywhere throughout the ancient world. It's absolutely crazy. It's just so crazy. But let's give this a shot real quick.
Many ancient cultures shared similar beliefs in a sacred place in the north, often described as a harmonious paradise. The Norse would call it Agartha. For Hindus, it's referred to as Paradisha. The Greeks knew it as Hyperborea. The Celtics called it Avalon. Buddhists call it Shambhala, and in the Bible, it's referred to as the Garden of Eden. That's just a few of the names. In fact, this place has been dubbed the Land of a Thousand Names. At the center of this paradise is the Axis Mundi, also called the Cosmic Axis, World Axis, World Pillar, Center of the World, and World Tree. This is said to be the connection between heaven and earth. Here is the Norse depiction. We have Yggdrasil, which is the Tree of Life. This is Mount Meru, from Buddhist, Jain, and Hindu cosmology. It's a central world mountain that reaches high into the heavens, and resting above it is the North Star. In the Mayan cosmology, there is a central pyramid. Same theme with the Inca cosmology and the Navajo cosmology. So you get the idea, and of course, this is fascinating on its own. But here's where it gets crazy. In the 15 and 1600s, many maps were made that depicted 4 large islands in the Arctic region surrounding the North Pole. The most popular map with these Arctic landmasses comes from 1595 by Gerardus Mercator, where we can see a large black mountain called the Rupus Nigra, surrounded by a great whirlpool into which 4 powerful rivers flow. These rivers divide a massive landmass into 4 distinct islands. These islands were said to have been written about in great detail in a lost book from the 14th century called the Inventio Fortunata, which itself also references much older and similarly lost work. Suddenly, in the mid-1600s, all traces of the 4 Arctic lands, the Central Mountain, and the whirlpool had vanished, not to be seen on any map thereafter. Currently, we are told that there is no land at the North Pole, but instead a floating ice sheet that expands and contracts from season to season. Here's a short clip from a documentary claiming to be going to the North Pole.
Arriving destination 15 feet, 12, 10, 2. North Pole, top of the world, guys. Top of the world. We'll get that in a minute, Jake.
How cool is that? So what do you think? Is the real North Pole being hidden from us? Are they hiding land at the center of the Earth? Is that why we are told about Santa Claus at an early age, and it's conveniently related to the North Pole so that when we inevitably find out that Santa Claus is total BS, we also dismiss the North Pole? Not that it doesn't exist, but, we just kind of forget about it along with Santa Claus. Sure feels that way. And as usual, the truth seems to show up in plain sight in Hollywood movies. I just watched the new movie, The Dark Tower, based on the Dark Tower book series by Stephen King, and sure enough, it was all about the Axis Mundi.
You draw with a good hand.
I just don't know what this is.
Map like is your work.
Dark Tower equals Rupus Nigra, or the Black Rock. And in the movie, a young boy goes to another dimension called Midworld, and the only reason he's able to get in is because, quote,
His shine is pure.
that's a prerequisite in a lot of the North Pole paradise mythology we were discussing earlier. This magical kingdom will only reveal itself to believers pure in heart. What does this mean? It means that you must shed all your past traditional beliefs and open your mind and heart to the possibilities of the invisible worlds beyond our senses of reality. The Western world has been conditioned to see first, then believe. But in the search for Shambhala, you must believe first. Just like in the movie Doctor Strange.
You're talking to me about healing through belief.
You're a man looking at the world through a keyhole. You've spent your whole life trying to widen that keyhole, to see more, to know more. And now, on hearing that it can be widened in ways you can't imagine.
Our energy or the power of belief. There is no such thing as momentary speck within an indifferent universe.
You think too little of yourself.
And foggy, Then suddenly they poke through to see a beautiful hidden land. Surrounded by a perpetual storm system. When the people finally get there by way of helicopter, you can see the Aurora Borealis. So there we have a hidden land in the Arctic connection. There see the Aurora Borealis in the scene. On the video game Uncharted 2, we get this cutscene.
Whoa. That's amazing.
Chloe, I know where that is. Let me use your bag. Which means the entrance to Shambhala must be right here. Here it is, Elena. The secret entrance to Shambhala.
In the movie The Golden Compass, there is a magical dust at the North Pole that connects the world to a parallel universe. Have you ever seen that? Had some domed world, tree of life symbolism. Weird one. Have you ever seen that? That movie, The Fountain, was a weird one. Have you ever seen that? Had some domed world, tree of life symbolism. Catch until recently, but during the credits, the end credits of the first Thor movie, it has the mountain reaching the heavens, depicted in the Yggdrasil Norse Tree of Life cosmology. That one is easy. Thor is obviously full of Norse concepts.
All right. I just didn't want to get pulled down because that video has given a couple of my streams some issues copyright wise. So just don't want to get that pulled down again. But yeah, dude, this whole Hollow Earth stuff, the mysteries of the North Pole, the mysteries of the ancient worlds, and, you know, the fact that they're not really myths anymore, some of these ancient stories, because like I just showed you guys, they found Gilgamesh's tomb. Gilgamesh is a mythical story. And, well, they found Osiris's tomb. Yeah, the mythical tomb of Osiris. Spanish-Italian archaeologist team, in cooperation with the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities, has made an incredible discovery in the necropolis of something something in the West Bank at Thebes, Egypt. An enormous ancient reproduction of the mythical tomb as described in ancient legend, complete with multiple. Yep. Cyrus in a room with a wall depicting a demon holding knives. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Interesting stuff, huh, guys? But, you know, we're all just crazy talking about myths and hollow earths and Mandela effects. Absolutely ridiculous. When are these people going to wake up and smell the fresh air for what it is? I wonder. I really do. But I think we're going to start winding this down and, you know, let just so I can, you know, show you guys that the Bible is not just a flat earth book, but it is also a hollow earth book in a way. So let me just get this first queued up real quick. Any day would be good. Oh, where is it? Oh, just passed it. Reading out of the KJV right now. And there we go. Job 2, verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and walking up and down in it. Not on it, in it. And that will conclude my little videos here on the Hollow Earth. Please like, share, and subscribe, guys. God bless all of you in the chat. God bless everyone this reaches. And just want to let you guys know the world is a lot more complex than we think. So always just, like everything, take the meat, spit the bones. It is what it is, guys. But I'm going to get on out of here. God bless you all. And thanks for coming, guys, and sticking around through the technical difficulties. Really appreciate it. Have a good one.